This is the fun part. It says it's preparing to live stream. Okay, now we're redirecting to YouTube. Okay. Looks like it might be going through. Last time I tried this, it was really strange and I never could figure out what I did that didn't work properly, but crossing my fingers, this time it's gonna all go through.
Hey, bitch.
Hey, it's spinning. Yep, I see it. We are live on YouTube and we are live here in Zoom. So welcome everybody to Channeling in the New Year with your Akashic Guides. I'm so excited that you're all here. Thanks for coming, because I know New Year's Eve is, you know, a night when you might have something else planned to do. Now we're redirecting to YouTube. Okay. Oh, wow. Now looks like it might be going through. Last time I tried this, it was really strange and I never could figure out. That is the delay that we're getting. That didn't work properly, but let me mute that. Yeah, okay, that's better. Wow, and I can even see the chat on YouTube. So I think it is working properly. So there's a slight delay over on YouTube. That's why you just heard my voice come in. So I've muted that. I hope they'll be able to hear us because that should only be on my end. I'm going to mute all of you. There we go. So it'll be nice and quiet. All right. Carrie, I don't know why it's showing your name on the screen. That's interesting. We'll get it all figured out. Okay, so I was thinking about how we would start this very special gathering. And I started getting a piece of a really powerful grounding. So if you guys are up for it, I thought we would start with that grounding and just see how that impacts the rest of the evening, because I think it's going to supercharge it. So everybody with me, you want to do a quick little grounding exercise? Awesome, awesome. Okay. Just so you know, your faces and voices will show up on this particular recording because it is being live streamed. So if that's a problem, it's okay to turn off your camera. All right, so sit back, just shake out all the tension that's left over from the day. Close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And as you exhale, just feel all of the tightness in your body, just easing away, flowing down your body, out your fingertips, out your toes, out your root chakra even, just flowing away from you, leaving you in this very relaxed, comfortable space. Another deep breath. And with your eyes closed, look up and notice high above you this very bright light that looks like it could be the North Star. It's just sparkling white. It's so magnificent and beautiful. And now all of a sudden, that star starts speeding towards you. And it's coming at you very rapidly. Right before it gets to your root chakra, your crown chakra at the top of your head, it slows just a little bit. And then it just slips into your crown chakra. And as it comes through your body, you can feel the power, and your body is shaking with the magnificent power of this powerful star that is going through your body all the way down past your chest now, through your abdomen, your body shaking with this energy, this mass energy that's heralding in 2020. And it continues shooting down your legs now and out the bottoms of your feet, diving deep into Mother Earth. And you can feel the ripple effect of the shaking as it goes down, down, down even further into the earth and anchors there at the very center of the earth. And you are now safely anchored between divine and Mother Earth. You are in this very sacred space that we're all sharing together tonight. Just allow yourself to flow with the experience. Know that everything is in alignment as it should be. And it is perfect that we are gathered here because this new 2020 energy is so potent. Metatron says it's the energy of love that will be all encompassing as we move into 2020. It's creating this massive wave, the cosmic wave of transformation that's sweeping across the earth and across the inhabitants. And it must affect positive change. And we will all lift up together with that energy and step more fully into who we are as souls than we have ever done before. This is our time of raising our energetic frequency so that we can connect with higher dimensions more easily. The information will flow to us effortlessly, and we will know how loved and how cherished we are by divine. And with that wonderful divine love enveloping us, almost cocoon-like, we will move forward with confidence, exhilaration, and excitement as we step into this new decade to experience all of the joy, wonder, and delight that awaits us. So take another couple of deep breaths and just bring your awareness back to your body. Maybe shake your arms and legs and fingers if you need to. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, how's that feel? Does that get you all revved up for what we're about to do? Awesome. Okay, so we only have a few people with us right now, so that means you guys are going to get to ask a lot of questions unless we get more showing up later. We're just going to flow with whatever happens is good. So you can either raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat, whichever works best for you. If you're on the phone, try *9 to raise your hand. So I see, Michelle, you've already posted a question. Let's start with that. What do your guides want you to know that you have not yet tuned into clearly enough, especially in regards to career and business focus? Okay, so for tonight, I pulled out my very special Stonehenge pendulum because I thought it was perfect for this occasion and I rarely use it. This is the time to use it. So we're going to use this for your question and everybody else's tonight. So, okay, Michelle, what can you tell her about the direction of career and business? What has she not tuned into yet that you've been trying to communicate with her? So Michelle. I'm seeing this big swirling, what is it called? It's this big swirling vortex. It's white with a light blue around it. And the lines, the white lines are thinnish, which is really interesting because you would expect it to be way large. So it's a thin line, maybe, half an inch is what I'm seeing. And it starts wide at the cone end, or the wide end of the cone. And then as it moves away, it goes down into that cone shape. But it's very, very elongated, and it goes as far as the eye can see, and further, I presume, because it appears to be keep continuing to go. So this is this massive vortex. So, okay, what does that mean though? What can you tell her? What does the vortex symbolize? Oh, so they're saying that there's confusion there. So it's spinning and spinning and spinning, and things are going by, and they're kind of going by in a bit of a blur. So what they're whispering in my ear is that you can ask it to slow down anytime you want. Just speak to it. You are the authority in your life. You can speak to that vortex cone and you can say, listen, you're going too fast and I can't see what you're trying to show me. So slow it down a bit, all right? And then they'll slow it down for you. And when they slow it down, now I'm seeing you crawling into it, because it's slowed down to the point where you can do that. You can step up and you can crawl in. And as you start crawling in, you shrink to the size of an infant. And I guess maybe about 6 or 8 months, because you're crawling, right? I'm seeing you crawling in, this baby. You're crawling into the vortex and you're giggling. You're so excited because what you're seeing delights you. It's a really interesting shape and it's spinning and it's just caught your attention. You're fascinated by it. So you want to crawl in there and see what you can find. So here you are, you're crawling in. And as you start going in, it gets a little darker because you're moving away from the light that was at the outside of that cone. And you're finding that surprisingly, it's very cushiony. It has this feeling like, what would it be? I like Play-Doh. So it's cushiony and squishy, like Play-Doh, but yet it's supporting and you're not sinking into it. So here you are crawling into this vortex that's comfy and squishy. And you stop and you sit up and you look around and you got one little tooth in the middle that's popped up. And you're drooling and you've got this little blonde curl on the top of your head, little wispy curl. And there you are, you're looking a little bit like the Gerber baby, except even cuter. So there you sit and you're looking around and you're babbling and giggling to yourself. And you're just in this place of trust and innocence. All is right with your world. You're not afraid of anything. You move forward confidently in this space and you know that everything is fine. You don't have to worry because you are safe, you are loved, and you are protected. You are cherished. You can feel that love and that it's like a protective shield or a protective bubble that surrounds you. So there's nothing to worry about. And so as you've absorbed all of this, now you get back on your hands and knees and you start crawling. You're going to go a little further into this vortex. So there you go. You're crawling in again. And now on the side of the vortex, a door opens. And there's light spilling in from this door. It's a smallish door, but that's okay because you're a smallish person. And so you crawl through this wide open door into this bright white light. And it's so white that it's like, it's pervasive. It's everywhere. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It is so thick. It has texture. It is so amazingly thick and texturized. And there it is. And so you're standing there or sitting there, kneeling there. What is it you're doing? I'm having trouble making you out because of the density of this whiteness. Okay, now you have changed your back into your adult self and you're standing there. And I'm seeing the light glinting off your glasses now, which is interesting. So there's a light source above and beyond this vast whiteness that's all around you. And there's a sound of footsteps coming towards you. And as they get closer, you can hear it's like a hard leather and a hard heel that's hitting the floor. And you're hearing that clunking on the floor as it comes towards you. But you're not seeing anything yet. And so you're filled with curiosity. Who is this? Who is coming to greet me in this apparently heavenly realm that you've stepped into, right? Because that's what it looks and feels like. And a hand reaches out to you from this whiteness, like it's gone through a cloud and suddenly there it is in front of you and you can see it. And now you take a deep breath because you're just a teeny bit nervous. You reach out and you grab that hand and you just slide right in. You slip through And you're traveling through this whiteness and you don't really see anything else, but you do feel that hand, you're very securely held. And now you're coming out on the other side and it's this beautiful glade. There's gorgeous green, Irish green grass, and there are trees. I can hear the sound of a babbling brook nearby. It's just a very idyllic space. And there you are, and standing in front of you is what you would probably think of as your fairy godmother, this kind of roundish woman, all dressed in white, with a little sparkling ornament on top of her hat. She looks a little silly, to be honest, but she's smiling at you with this big, loving smile, and she's so delighted that you've come to see her. And she says that she is Auntie Grand. Okay, Auntie Grand. All right, so Auntie Grand, what do you want to share today? She says you worry too much. You need to relax and just flow more. Just like you came through all of this whiteness in a place of trusting. There was no resistance. She's saying, look at that. Remember that. Feel that. There was no resistance. You flowed through it because you knew you were safe. You knew you were going to come out somewhere on the other side that would be wonderful. And so you were just filled with this joy and anticipation, and it was fun. And so if you can bring that energy to what you want to do in your business, that's what's missing. It's that flow and that trust and the feeling of reaching for what is easy that you can just slide right through. Okay, so let me know if this is making sense to you. All right, so I'm gonna, oh, there you go. So she's thanking me for the message. So I hope that was helpful. And if you need more on that, just put another message in there later and let me know. Okay, awesome. So let's see if there are any hands raised. Yes, Colleen, your hand was raised.
I'm here.
Hi.
I'm having trouble with success in business. I've been in business for 30 years and just all of a sudden it stopped.
So 30 years of success and then it just stopped cold? Mm-hmm. Okay. What kind of business do you have?
I do hypnotherapy and NLP and EFT and things like that.
Okay. So what can you tell Colleen about this block in her abundance? Why did her business just suddenly stop? So they're saying, Colleen, that you were on a plateau for a very long time and it was really comfortable. But you are now in a space where you are up leveling energetically. And when you up level, you have to change and shift with it. You can't stay the same because that's like being a boat anchor on your success, right? So you are anchoring yourself, staying in that old energy. Now it's time, just like Michelle just got, to lighten up and flow through and go with trust and know that you will be shifting into different spaces, different energies. Be open, enjoy the excitement, learn to enjoy the unknown. That's what they're saying. Because, you know, we get very comfortable and very complacent about, yeah, I know what to expect and it's all good. But as soon as it gets different and we get into this unexplored territory, you know, we start biting our fingernails and our knees are knocking and we're scared with us.
I've been focusing on learning how to channel and waiting for that kind of thing. But I don't have clients to practice on.
Well, you can just ask people that you know if they will let you practice with them.
Okay.
And just, you know, do it for free for people, just as, you know, an opportunity to practice, because you desperately need that practice to step into this new energy. So here you are, it's like you're straddling this chasm. You've got one foot on each side, and it's time to make a commitment and get both feet on the other side. and start uploading.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. Jen, go ahead. Are you there, Jen?
Oh, sorry. I didn't actually mean to raise my hand, but I would be open to any message my guides have for me.
Okay. So, Jen, what do you want to share with Jen? Oh, I'm seeing firecrackers going off right away. Reds and blues, mainly, a little bit of green. Interesting. And I see you standing there watching them, and your eyes are getting really big, and you're just enjoying the show. And you're a little bit astonished at how big and how powerful they are, because you didn't realize there was that much power available for you to tap into. But it's right there for you. All you have to do is ask it and allow it to come in. Don't be afraid of it. It's not going to hurt you. It's there to assist you. It's an energy that's going to beckon you forth. This is a theme tonight, beckoning forth, right? So step into it with confidence and know that when you get this kind of an intuitive nudging or a tap on the shoulder, a pull from your solar plexus, go with it. That is your guides reaching out their hand and inviting you to engage with them. And they will help lead you through whatever confusion there is ahead of you until you get more clarity. But just step into it and start making new choices, taking new action. Don't sit there and wonder what you should do. That's where you're getting stuck. Don't worry about whether it's the most perfect right choice in the world. If it feels at all good, run with it. Does that make sense?
That's perfect. And I do tend to overanalyze and wait for the perfect option. So I think
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
And so what they're saying, Jen, is when you do that, you are denying yourself so much exquisite pleasure because you're postponing. You're waiting for perfection and you're missing out on all that fun and delight in the interim period, right? So just go with it. Get out there, get moving, go take it because it's yours. It's waiting for you to step up.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So let me see. I'm going to pop down to the chat and just see what I've missed down there. So, Karen, you had a question, but you couldn't figure out how to raise your hand. That's okay. So, Karen, I don't see you to unmute you. Oh, there you are. I got you. All right. Go ahead, Karen.
Oh, hi. Thank you. It's Karen. And I put my question in the chat, but what giftings are coming in for me in this new year? Like I can feel them. I'm not sure how to name them and what are the best steps to develop these gifts quickly.
So, is naming them really that important?
Not really, but it just figuring out what they are to be able to use them and develop them.
Okay. So, they're chuckling and they're saying, this is an evolving relationship. So just meet us where we are right now. Let's get started. Let's stop waiting for for perfection, right? Let's just take what you've got, start moving into that, feel your way through it. And as you go, you're going to be fine tuning and you're going to start moving faster and more is going to come in. So don't delay your gratification by waiting for what you think it needs to be. Because often we block what divine is sharing with us because we have this preconceived notion of what it should look like. And very often it doesn't. It looks very different because divine knows what we need and what's best for us and will offer us these options. And then we get to choose the one that we enjoy the very most or that is the most enticing. Does that make sense?
Yes. It feels very general and vague, so I'm not sure what to do with that.
Okay, so ask a follow-up question.
Are there specific gifts that are coming in, or I feel something coming in? What do I do with it? How do I develop it, I guess? Because I know there's some steps and I just don't know what those are.
Okay, so for Karen, she's feeling something new that you're bringing to her, some kind of a new ability, but she doesn't know what to do with it. So what can you share with her to give her clarity? So I'm seeing a picture of you, Karen, and you're standing there and you're holding one of these really weird, kind of a sword, but it's got this weird shape. I've seen the Klingons use it in Star Trek. So it's like long and it's got this blade that's kind of a curve. So it's thin at the ends and fatter in the middle. So you'd almost, if it were a kitchen implement, you would be using it to, roll it across vegetables and dice them up. But it's larger than that, right? It's something you would hold in your hands and you would use as you go forth. It's a new tool for you to use. Oh, and they're saying, so it's cutting through the BS. They've given you this very sharp implement. You don't have to hang around and wait for the BS and, claw your way through it anymore. You take out your new tool and you just chop through it and go. Don't wait. Don't let it stop you. And so, of course, that's metaphorically, right? What that means for you is stop hesitating so much. Take more decisive action faster. Speed things up for yourself because you're wanting it. You're feeling that pull, and yet the fear of the unknown holds you back, the uncertainty, the lack of clarity. And they're saying, Karen, sometimes you don't get all that clarity until you move out of where you're at. It's blocked. So step forward with confidence and with the assurance that your guides are right there. And if you get close to bumping into something, they're going to step up and they're going to nudge you around it. You're not going to bump into it. They're going to take care of you and they will help you move forward. Now, Karen also asked about names. Are there any names you'd like to share with her so that she can feel a stronger connection to you? I get Buster Brown. Okay. Anybody else want to step up? All righty. Something green. All right. Say it again because I'm not getting it all. Something green. They said, okay, just go with green. Green is good enough. So you got Buster Brown and you got green. Those are the two who are stepping up to identify themselves. And I'm seeing you as they've now identified themselves, you step forward and you take their hands. And so now there you are, like a young girl in a pinafore with pigtails, and you've got Bobby socks and Mary Jane shoes, and you're skipping forward with them because now that you got a name that you can call them, it feels more comfortable. It's like stranger danger. You didn't want to go because you didn't know who they were. And now that you have a connection, something you can call them, it's easier to step forward with that trust. But they're also saying, Karen, don't worry about the names. If you don't like them, you can call us anything you like. We really don't care. Names are not that important in the fifth dimension. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so you see what I missed in the chat. So Jen says she has a new guide coming in to take her into the next evolution of work. She would like them to identify themselves and share whatever message. So for Joe, what can you share with Joe about this new guide? And right away I hear cowabunga in a very kind of, not sarcastic, but playful and kind of like a wisecracker. That's what it is. So it's a lightness, right? It's playfulness. It's not being so serious. It's let's get out there and play and have a really good time. So are you saying that cowabunga is your name? Yes. And is that what she should call you? You can call them whatever you like, but cowabunga is the designation they're sharing right now. So what can you tell Joe about this new phase that she's stepping into? Is there a message that you can give her to help her have more confidence? So I'm seeing this big blotch of purple. It's a beautiful bluish purple. Okay, so what's that about? And it's like a curtain and it's now being pulled aside. And on the other side, it's not blackness, but it's charcoal gray. So you can't really see very much. It's kind of dim. And it's like you're moving into, it looks like a bar. It's a dimly lit bar and there are people chattering around you at tables. And And so here you are, and you're looking around and you're wondering, WTH, a bar? Really? And Cowabunga is laughing and saying, well, it is New Year's Eve after all. Okay, so what about this bar? Is there something about the bar, or is this just for entertainment? Just joshing with you. Okay, so, but she would really like a message. So if you could give us something, that would be really nice, because she's needing some guidance. Joe, just hang loose, babe. It's all coming. You can't rush it. One step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Just take action. Don't stand there looking around wondering what you're supposed to do, because that's going to get you nowhere fast. So just start putting one foot in front of the other. Do those baby steps. You're going to come through that charcoal dim visibility, and you're going to come out the other side. You're going to see the light, and then things will start making more sense. We'll bring things to you as you are ready to see them. I don't know why they're talking that way. It's very weird, but I guess emphasis. So they're just wanting you to be more present in the moment, Joe. Don't hold back, because I'm seeing you like, pulling back, because, there's uncertainty, and none of us like that. It's kind of scary, but your guides have got you. You're okay. And anytime you grow, there's going to be this uncertainty. It's scary. So just get moving, get through it, and you'll feel better after you take that action, because that energy will start moving. More insights will come to you. And Joe, it's almost like there are all these breadcrumbs. They're lined up in front of you, but you can't see them. They're invisible because you're in this place of uncertainty and a little bit of fear. As soon as you let go of that, I'm seeing you just big sigh, let that energy go, and then open your eyes, shift your energy into lightness, and smile, and maybe skip around and be silly. As soon as you do that, it'll shift your entire energy, and you will start seeing those breadcrumbs that are lined up waiting for you. And when you see them, then just pick the ones that look the most delicious. Take it and run with it and see where it takes you. Just get ready for an adventure, but also be aware that you're not going to plan this all out. You're going to get it a piece at a time as you're ready for it. That's just the way it works. Because if you get it all ahead of time, then you might make choices that would take you totally off track. So they're going to give it to you as you need it. And when you're ready, your job is to trust them and take action. So does that make sense, Joe? Is that helpful? I unmuted you, so if you're there, you can speak, Joe.
It is the message I have been receiving. I was just thinking there should be more. So, yes, my word of the year that came to me intuitively a couple weeks ago was stay the course. Just stay. And
yeah, but don't stay stuck. Don't stay.
No, I don't mean that. I just mean it's coming. Patience. But keep moving. Yes. And I spent yesterday out playing in the snow all day. So I guess
that's perfect.
I'm hearing what they're saying.
Yeah, do more of that, because the more you do that and you get into that fun energy, everything will just lighten up and you'll get more of those messages. They are trying to communicate with you.
Great. Yep, I feel it. That's why I'm asking.
I'm seeing you now with your hands over your eyes, because there's that fear and uncertainty. Take your hands down and just relax and enjoy the ride, because it's going to be fun. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm seeing you going down a water slide. Yeah.
Sounds great.
You're so welcome. Okay. So Adelina, your message is next. So you can unmute yourself.
Hi. Right, so my question is about love, and especially the message you've shared with us from Archangel Metatron. which I'm gonna read again because I feel it's so relevant to my question. So just the first part that you've shared. The theme of the new decade is love. Love as the answer to everything, beginning with love of self. Completely accepting and appreciating the marvel that is you, a precious, precious, cherished child of Creator. Once filled to overflowing, joyfully sharing your love and newfound understanding with others. So this is a lesson that I just found out about maybe a couple of days ago. And I've learned this lesson through a connection with someone, someone that I've known for a while, and it felt like a really strong connection that I couldn't really let go of, but it didn't feel like it's not a fulfilled connection either, but I couldn't let go of it, although I've tried. Um, and so I feel like this is an important lesson for me to learn, and I am learning it, and I am thinking, how can I start practicing self-love? And I understand I need to be aligned with my inner being and fill my own cup before I can give out to others and live from that vibration. And I guess what I would like to know is maybe two things. I feel like there is still something for me to learn from this, or maybe there's a message that I'm not getting. I feel like throughout this time I've actually developed my intuition more, which is also really good. So there's that. And also I do want to know if there's anything more to this connection, or if this was it, because today I felt like I want to let go of it, but I felt like I was getting the message to wait. So yeah, just a bit more clarity on that. That would be great.
Okay. So this connection is a new person, right?
No, it's an old person.
Okay. Okay. So this connection that's just coming into awareness for Adelina, is this something to be pursued? Is it optimal to pursue this connection? So yeah, is it something for long term? Would it be an optimal relationship for the long term? I get a yes on that. So it's like all systems are go, the lights are green if you want to move forward with that. And
Okay.
the thing about stepping into the love and that message, I'm so delighted to hear you say that, because that validates what I was getting the other day about, this whole love energy that we're stepping into for 2020 and for the decade, because that whole transformation really desperately needs to happen. The sooner the better. So the more of us that get that and share that, the faster we can make it happen. Because Metatron says that we should take our gifts and share these messages like a positive infection. And he said, really? An infection? Because I would think that's a negative thing. And he explained to me that infection, because it can go out in a geometric progression, it doesn't take that one-to-one connection. It can be a one-to-many. So it's going to spread faster. So that's why the word infection was used. So here we are being asked to step up and do that, and do it with joy and with fun. And as we allow our own vessels to fill up to overflowing, we're going to feel so amazing and so wonderful that we're going to want to share that with other people, because it's just going to be bursting out of our pores. I mean, it's just going to be so much of it that we have to share it. So the sooner we do that, the sooner we can start shifting the energy on the planet. And it really won't take as many as you might think. It just takes that concentrated effort. So that's what we're all being called to do right now, in whatever way we feel led to do it. So I went through this thing where I was really feeling the weight of that responsibility. And then I get this tap on the shoulder to remind me that, hello, are you wanting to create the karma of responsibility? No, I really am not. So, correction, I'm feeling called to do this, not that it's a responsibility. And I will do it in the time that works best for me and not feel a pressure or a forcing, because that's contrary to what we're trying to accomplish, right? Anytime we feel that we're having to force our way or push through, or that it's staticky, difficult, that's a sign for us to look around and realize that we are in resistance somewhere. So we need to figure out where that resistance is, relax, step out of it, and get back into the flow. It's like that person who's being swept down the river in the rapids, and their body gets plastered against a rock, and they're holding onto this rock thinking, well, if I hold on to the rock, I might survive. If I let go, I might not. And the guides are just shaking their heads saying, no, you're not going to get anywhere if you stay hanging on the rock. You need to trust that we've got you, let go, and float downstream, and you're going to get to calm waters again soon. But you're not going to get there if you keep holding on to that rock. And meanwhile, you're blocking everything, and life gets really crappy in a hurry. So does that answer your question? I kind of went off on a tangent there.
No, that was good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that answer. It was the answer I was hoping for, but I'm just glad to hear it. And maybe, do my guides have anything to share with me about how I can fill my own cup, how I can practice this more? Yeah, I feel like that might be an interesting answer, might benefit other people as well.
Okay, cool. So what can you share with Adelina about any kind of a technique she might use to fill her vessel and to stay filled? Yeah, so I'm seeing you standing there, and there's like this big white, it looks like mother of pearl. It's a beautiful vase, and it's filled with this white milky liquid, and it's just pouring on you, and it's pouring into your crown chakra, and it's just filling you up, and it's full of energetic, but like all of the amazing nutrients that you need in an energetic form. So it's vitalizing you, it's filling you with vital force energy, and it's showing you it in this milky white form just so that you can see it, because obviously that's not really what energy is going to look like, but they wanted you to be able to see it and have that context for it so that you could have that experience. So yeah, maybe just a couple of minutes a day, do your grounding exercise, and then allow that big, beautiful vase pitcher. It's a pitcher, I'm sorry. It's a big white pitcher, and it's pouring and filling you up, and just let it fill until you overflow, and just bask in that wonderful, amazing feeling of being revitalized, energized, and filled with love. And it will warm you from the inside out. It might make you even tingle with all that energy. So just allow it to expand into whatever that experience will be for you, because it'll be different for everybody.
Great. Thanks very much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Okay. So hang tight, everybody. I will get to all of you, I promise. And those of you who are on YouTube, once I get through the questions here in the Zoom room, I'll pop over to YouTube and address your questions. So, Osesica, you and your friend are planning on doing some gold prospecting, and you wonder if you'll be successful. So you can unmute yourself. What can you tell Osesica about her plan to go gold prospecting? Is it highly likely that she will find gold? I get a definite yes on that. Will it be a lot of gold? Will it be a substantial amount of gold? No, it's probably not going to be a lot, but it will be enough to make you smile from ear to ear, to make your face hurt because you're smiling so much. It's just going to feel wonderful. So if you approach this as something fun, then you're going to get the maximum from this experience. So you don't want to go in with the attitude and the energy of, oh, I must find gold or I won't be successful. No, just go in there, be very playful. And when you do that, here's the other thing. You've now shifted your energy. You've clicked into your third eye, which will help you to find what you're looking for faster and easier. Because remember, it has to be easy, it has to flow. If you're struggling, that is a cue that something is off and you need to switch things up. So does that make sense? Oh, Jessica, are you there? I'm not hearing you. Okay, go ahead and type into the chat to let me know if that made sense. And I'll go on to the next question in the meantime. Anne, is there any advice for 2020 and also direction on what you should be doing and or your path? So for Anne, what can you tell her about direction and path for 2020? I'm hearing the Wizard of Oz, follow the yellow brick road. So Anne, it's about adventure. It's about going and finding new paths that you haven't trod before. So don't keep going down the same places because you're going to get the same results. They are inviting you. They're holding out both hands now and saying, come on, Anne, let's go. And now I see them holding your hand and you're both leaning back and you're twirling round and round and just giggling and having so much fun. So that's the attitude and the energy they want you to bring into 2020. And when you do that, there you are spinning around with them. You're going to all of a sudden see something that's going to catch your attention and you're going to feel it. This is something I should go explore, and then go do it, and do it with excitement and laughter and all the fun you can bring to it, and just enjoy the heck out of it, because your life is intended to be fun. You didn't come here to have a drudge of a life. That's not what any soul who came here wanted. They all wanted to expand their consciousness and have a heck of a good time. So they're saying, you know, it's about time you got started having more fun. Let's do that. Let's go enjoy together and follow the yellow brick road. So, Anne, let me know if that makes sense. Can you unmute yourself? Let's see, do I see you?
Yes.
There you are. Hey, so did that make sense?
Yeah, it's very general, and I guess, yeah.
So ask a follow-up question.
Well, I have a few interests, but haven't really made much progress in them, in music or art. So should I follow those?
Okay, so you've got several options and you don't know which one to take?
Well, I kind of started getting involved in both, but then I kind of stop. I start and I stop.
Yeah, that's the problem. You got to keep going. So here's the thing. When you have multiple choices lined up before you, go to your solar plexus and feel your way through each and every choice until you find the one that feels the most delightful and delicious, and then go do it as quickly as possible. Don't stand back and wonder and second guess yourself. If you picked the one that's not the best, it's okay. You're still going to have a good time because it felt good. Stay on that path as long as it feels good. And when it stops feeling good, then pick another thing and go do it. That's what life is all about. When you're in a space where the choice that you made, which used to feel good, no longer does, get rid of it. Go do something new. Don't stay there. That's the huge mistake that many of us make, because society has programmed us that, hey, you made a commitment, you have to follow through. And yeah, maybe once in a while you do because there's something legal behind it. But as soon as you can, get untangled from that and move out of it into something that is delightful, because you're just frittering away the days, right? If you're doing stuff that isn't serving your soul. So it's more of that. Be present in the moment. Find those things that just lift you up, that feel blissful. Those are the best choices. And go do them as quickly as possible. And keep doing them as long as they feel wonderful.
Okay. I asked another question further down.
Yeah.
If Serapis Bay have any message for me?
I'm not hearing that. Can you say it again?
It's written, if you don't understand, Serapis Bay has any.
Oh, Serapis Bay. Okay. Does he have a meaning for you?
Any to say anything. Is there any message?
Oh, a message from Serapis Bay. Okay. Gotcha. All right, let me look. So, is there a message from Serapis Bay for Anne? I'm hearing singing. I got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Do you know that song?
No, I don't.
Google it. Get the lyrics, look it up, and see if there's a message in those lyrics, because very often there is. And if there's not, then it's just about reinforcing that joy. So it's like if you are trying to connect with Serapis Bay and you're having trouble, the ingredient that's missing is the joy. You want to up your level of joy. And you do that by making more empowered, more delicious choices and getting into that energy. That will lift your frequency up so that you'll be able to get closer frequency-wise to Serapis Bay and have that connection. Does that make sense?
Okay, yes. Thank you, and happy
welcome.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay. So Marie, you'd like to know where you should move in what part of the world that would be most in alignment with your business to help raise conscious awareness. Okay, so what can you tell Marie? First of all, let's just ask this. Would it be optimal for Marie to move in order to fulfill her goals or to reach her goals? Would it be optimal? I get a no on that, Marie. And it's like a follow-up. Then there's like this echo that's reverberating behind it saying, you can move if you want to. That's totally up to you. But just know that you are capable of manifesting what you want right where you're at. You don't have to move to do that. But if you want to move because it would bring you more joy and it would put you in a place that uplifts you and makes everything else easier, then absolutely go move. But always keep in mind, it's about doing those things that feed your soul, that delight you, that feel like bliss. When you start feeling that energy, then you know you're on the right track. And if you're not feeling that energy, you know you need to switch things up. Does that answer your question, Marie?
So I guess I should have prefaced the question by saying I've been wanting to move.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really, really wanting to move, but it seems to me that the only thing that is stopping me from moving is I don't know where I'm moving to. So I feel that the time I've had here is come to an end. I've felt that for a while now. And so it is very much about wanting to follow the joy
Mm-hmm.
for me to move. And so my question was more around, is it important as to, would it be, how would I say, useful to know where in the world, because it's a big place.
Yes.
And so if, I guess the question was, sometimes location can be more in alignment or less in alignment with who we are. And so I was sort of looking for that sort of bit of a great question, isn't it?
Yeah, but let's see if we can use what we've been learning about dowsing to narrow it down. This will be a really great exercise. So for Marie, she would like to move, and she's wondering if you can tell her where in the world she would find the most joy and success. So let's start with, is it Northern Hemisphere? I get a yes on Northern Hemisphere. Okay, is it in North America? No. South America? South America comes up a yes. So how far south are we talking? Are we talking like Mexico? No. Give me some names. Where in South America?
Oh, me?
Yeah, because
oh, well, one of my interesting projects for this year would be to visit Machu Picchu, which is in Peru.
So what about Peru? Oh yeah, that's a big yes. And that's probably because you feel a pull towards it. So there is a huge clue. When you feel that pull, honor it, go with it. And
Yes.
it doesn't mean that it's going to be, you know, a long-term thing, but you need to get out there and explore and experience these places before you figure out where you want to settle. And maybe you're going to move around for a while.
Yeah.
Because it's totally within your ability to make those choices. I mean, these days you can run your business virtually. And
Yes, this is why I was so
Wow.
interested
Yeah.
in because what you don't run virtually is your connection to nature.
Yeah.
That we don't do virtually yet anyway. I don't have a holodeck, but you know what I'm saying? So that is what gives me the freedom, is because I do run a virtual business. And so I don't have any roots anymore as to why I need to remain where I am. And I feel that I've you know, lived it enough that it's desirable for me to move. And the only thing I question is, most people say, well, where do you want to move? And I don't seem to ever come up with a clear answer. So I thought I'd use tonight to play around with it.
That's awesome. And so you got this now idea of how you can play with it with dowsing. Because we were able to narrow it down to a geographical place, and then you were inspired to come up with names.
Yeah.
So it was there. It was always there. There was just something blocking it, like fear, or, you know, can I really say that? Is it okay to say that?
Well, and also I never thought of approaching it that way. The question, I never thought of asking those specific questions.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you just ask, should I move? They'll say, I don't know, should you? Would it make you happy? Do you want to move?
Yeah.
It's always your choice. But if you phrase the question correctly when you douse, you can get them to give you some answers that will give you at least a, you know, a broader spectrum. They're not going to ever, well, I shouldn't say ever, but rarely are they going to give you something really, really specific.
Right.
Because they want you to make those choices and take that action.
So you said that they said that this is a favorable environment, right? Is what you're saying. And when I narrowed it down to Peru, you said yes, very favorable.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, big yes on Peru.
Okay.
And so Peru is a big place. Now you got to figure out where in Peru.
Yeah, and as you say, to start with a visit, because that was my only intention, was to visit. I never considered moving. But as you say, a visit always precludes a move, right?
Yeah. Get there and experience the energy and see what feels good to you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Savannah. What's your question?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you.
Hi. Yeah, so I've been feeling rather depressed for several days because I know that I'm at some sort of crossroads with what I need to be doing with my life, professionally and personally. But it's a crossroads that's very foggy, and there are many things that I have been kind of trying to create, but I'm so busy with the work that I do that isn't bringing me a great deal of joy, and isn't enough to be supporting me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make another choice. I have to try and see what can be done to either improve the business I'm at, find something else, work on one of my other projects, move. So all this is swirling around and making me feel, you know, really sad and not joyful in my life right now. So if there's any insight about that, would be
Yeah,
lovely.
so when you're in that position, Savannah, it's a really good exercise to step back and ask yourself, if time were no object, if money were no object, you could do anything and all that you wanted to do, what would it be?
Oh gosh, I have a long list of things.
Yeah, but something's got to jump out there, right?
That's kind of the problem. Well, I would definitely like to travel more. And I feel that's part of my destiny. It was a big part of my life when I was younger. Traveling is harder now that I'm older. And I have a business idea around that, but it also, it doesn't feel like it would be financially viable for a year or more. And I don't have that kind of cushion. And then I would like to talk about my experiences, like podcasting or doing like an audio book. I don't really want to write something. I want to speak it because I'm good at that. And I want to collaborate and I want to be in love. And
so here's the problem. You're like a kid. You're standing in front of the Christmas tree and you're distracted because there are so many things and you're trying to grab them all at once, and that doesn't work, right? Yeah. Because you end up with nothing except broken bulbs. So it's like you need to narrow it down to a couple things. You don't have to go all the way down to one, but a couple things that you put your focus on. Because here's the thing, you're in this job that's not making you happy, but you're holding on to it for dear life because you need that income to support yourself. Yeah. And so over here, there's this little lagoon that is just so appealing and it's enticing you, but you're holding on to that piece of driftwood because you don't want to drown. And so your guides are saying to you, Savannah, it's okay. Let go. Come towards us here in this lagoon because we have so much amazing experience for you here. But you're never going to get there if you keep grasping onto that driftwood. So this is the huge, scary thing for a lot of people. It's like, I got to keep doing this business because I got to support myself, but I can't do anything else because I'm doing this business. So you get in this endless negative loop, right? So somewhere in there, you have to break out a little piece, make some space to do something else. You've got to make room. And when you open up that space, you open up the room for the positive energy to come in and allow you to explore something else. So you've got to find a way to do less and make the same amount of money. So what does that mean? You've got to raise your rates. You've got to offer something that you can get more for. I mean, this is where you're being called on to be creative to make it work. And it's totally up to you how you do that. Or maybe you just do it in short bursts, where instead of just lopping off a whole section of your business, you take little short breaks from your business and you pursue that other thing that delights you.
Mm-hmm. You did raise my prices today, and I've got to be able to get away from my desk. It's hurting me physically and emotionally. Yeah.
Well, it's killing you if you're honest, right? It is draining your vital force energy. And the longer you sit there in that energy of, I don't want to be here, I hate being here, it hurts to be here, you're going to keep manifesting more of it.
I'm $200 away from complete destitution, so that's it's not exactly, I mean, obviously it's not easy to let go in that situation. If I had any kind of cushion at all, I would make some different choices.
Right. But here's the thing, and I know this is hard to hear, but that's a limiting belief. As long as you stay in that mindset of, I can't let go because I'm going to end up on the street, you're not going to see all those things that are lined up for you to grab onto. They are there. Your guides are not going to desert you, but you have to step out in faith and, pry your fingers off that piece of driftwood and reach for the something better. So the simple thing is get a little extra income by raising your rates. You can always do that.
I did that today.
Awesome. So that's a wonderful step. Congratulations.
Well, we'll see if that attracts more money. Hopefully it will.
Well, it's two-pronged though. So you've taken the first step, you've made a little space to do the other. Now you need to shift your energy away from those limiting beliefs and get into that excitement about what's going to come in. And then look around and see what is out there that is just really wonderful, that you just can't wait to get out there and grab a hold of and go for the gusto. Because you've
Yeah.
got to get your energy shifted too. It's both of those things have to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's good. It feels hard to move out of
Yes.
sort of doldrums that I'm in right now, but I hear you loud and clear.
So
Yeah.
I'm seeing you stepping out, holding hands with somebody, a partner to do this with. Maybe that's what's been,
I would really love a partner.
yeah. And so
I don't want
maybe
to, I'm
reach,
so alone all the time. I work at my house alone, day in and day out, every day, you know, my full attention on my work and all of that. And I feel lonely. And I haven't lived in this town very long, only about a year and a half. I try it. I go out. I try to meet people. I try to go to places. I do this. I do that. I'm not meeting anyone. I don't have any friends. I'm just, you know, like friends who are local. I have lots of
Mhm.
friends all around, but I just I feel really lonely. And
Okay, so I know you did that whole manifesting exercise a while back. So take that concept and apply it to what you want to step in. I want to find someone I can partner with to manifest this, and then describe what the this is, outline it, get it set up. And as you put that out there, I'm seeing you like this little boat with a candle on it, and you're putting it out there in the water and it's floating out, and it's going to connect with that person. You're sending out the energy signal to that person to connect with you. And you know, if you're feeling that, there's another out there who's feeling the same, probably more than one. So by taking that action, setting that intention, you're opening the space for that connection to be made. So put it out there. I mean, talk about it in groups. Say, this is what I'm looking for. Do you know somebody like that?
okay.
Because you know, there are lots of people out there feeling the same way who don't know what to do to get moving. So together, you can hold hands, support each other, and just take that leap, right? And maybe in the beginning, you do it as a side hustle until you get a little stability so that you can let go of more of the business that you don't love. So you don't have to all of a sudden just eject the whole thing. Just make space to go do something else. Because you have to make that little opening. You've got to give your guides a chance to help you, right? You have to make an opening for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I do. Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you,
Awesome.
Deborah. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. So a bunch of people posted about not being able to raise their hand. If you still haven't figured that out, put me a message in chat because I'm scrolling down now. I have a bunch to get through. When I get caught up to them, then I'll find you. Oh, and the way that you raise your hand, if you are here, if you're not on the phone, if you're actually on your video, at the bottom of your screen, there should be something about participants. When you click on that, you should see something about raising your hand. So that's the other way to do it. This thing keeps jumping around, so I'm not sure if I've gotten to everything or not. Okay, so Karen asked if there's a message for the group that's here today to take us into the new year and the new decade. Yeah, it's that message I talked about earlier with Adelina about the new decade is being all about love. So I'll just ask now, though, to see if they want to add anything to that. So what message can you share with the group and with all of those who will be watching in the coming days about the new year, the new decade? Something to lift them up. What can you share? And I'm hearing that song, Love is the Answer. So yeah, love is the answer because I'm seeing it like a blanket, this beautiful white cashmere, sparkling blanket that covers, warms, supports. Love enveloping and wiping out the darkness and the hate, the bitterness, the bigotry. Love as this enveloping cocoon that replaces all of the fear and the doubt and the uncertainty and allows us to step forward in confidence, in the knowingness that we are so deeply loved and cherished by our Creator, each and every one of us. You have that gift. That is yours by right of being a soul. You got that when you were created. That's your birthright. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can change that other than you. You pull yourself away from divine. You pull yourself out of the light. You separate yourself. So if you're feeling called to reconnect, then do that. And don't think that you need to sit down and meditate for an hour, because that's a limiting belief and it's going to prevent you from getting back into connection with divine. No, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever you can spare, but take that time to pause and connect in whatever way you choose. Meditation is wonderful. It can just be calming your breathing and just focusing and being in a space of gratitude for divine and all that you have been given and all that is on its way to you right now. And that's expanding as we move into this new age of Aquarius and lighter, more loving energy. It's coming at us rapidly. And so as Metatron has said previously, you can stand up and get on that wave and you can surf the cosmic wave of transformation, or you can stay in fear and you can get wiped out by the tsunami. And that's your choice. It's always your choice. But wouldn't it be far better to surf that wave? So now is your opportunity. You are being called to step up in faith and in trust. Take new action. Don't stand back in fear and limiting beliefs that you can't. Anytime you hear, I can't, I should, I must, I have to, those are limiting beliefs. You want to let those go because you have constructed this box for yourself that separates you from the world and from divine, and it limits you. Anytime you want, you can step out of that. Instead of I can't, I invite you to ask, how can I? Because you always can. It may not look what you think it should look like. That's okay. Be open to it looking differently. The important thing is it's going to feel wonderful, right? Because we don't always know the exact thing that's perfect for us. We've got our filters and our fears and our blocks. So when we open up and we allow divine guidance to come in and inspire us, when we recognize that inspiration and we take fast action, that's when things get easier. That's when the blocks start to fall away. That's when we move into more ease and more flow. And that is the state that awakened souls are all striving for, that space of floating downriver with ease. So that is the message to carry forth into 2020. And there will be more coming. This is just the beginning of a greater message that is yet to come. But this is what you need for right now. So take this, soak in it, allow it to permeate every cell of your being. Know it, believe it, trust it, feel it. And so it is. So I hope that that's helpful for you. Okay. It's funny, this chat keeps jumping around, so bear with me for a moment while I catch up to myself and see what we're still missing. So Colin says he's looking for work opportunities, wants to know who to contact and whether the spirit guides have anything to share. So Colin, I'm presuming you mean by who to contact people as in connections for work rather than guides, right? Because you mentioned something from your guides separate from that. So for work opportunities, What guidance can you give Colin about who to contact? So the first thing that's coming, Colin, is you need clarity about what it is you're seeking. Once you've figured out what it is you're seeking, then you look around for who's doing that. Where are there opportunities? And just get out there and knock on doors. Don't be shy about it. Get out there and knock on those doors and experience and sample what's out there until you find the one that you feel energetically drawn to. Now, I'm also getting, Colin, this is interesting. Douse on it, Colin. Write down all those names and addresses and douse on them. See which one is the most optimal and go there first. That'll be a really good exercise for you to practice your dowsing. So you said, right, okay. What do your guides have to share with you, Colin? Anything special you want to share with Colin tonight? Yeah, so I'm hearing, so get up and move it along. They just want you to take action, Colin. That's what they're saying. Don't stand back in confusion and hesitation because you're afraid of making the wrong choice. There's no wrong choice. Make the one that feels best. And after having made it, if you decide it really isn't the best one, then you discard it. Just like if you're playing a hand of cards, you discard the ones that you don't want anymore, that are not useful for you, and then go pick another one. And do it in a sense of fun and looking for that adventure and that excitement that will lift you up and make your days more joyful. Because there's a lot of heaviness I'm feeling around you, Colin. That heaviness it's like an anchor holding you back. So cut those binds, release yourself from that anchor, because you put it there. Divine didn't put it there. You can get rid of it by acknowledging that it's there and then releasing it. You can do that energetically. You can do that by taking new action and stop holding yourself back. So play with that for a bit, Colin, and let me know how that goes. Oh, Jessica said she wants to find huge amounts of gold as well as little bits of gold. So let's just ask for Jessica. Is it highly likely that she will find huge amounts of gold? That's a big maybe, Jessica. They're not going to commit one way or the other because there are a lot of variables involved about where you're searching and what's available. They are saying you're going to find some. And so here's the other thing that's coming in. They're saying, listen, go out there and have fun. Whatever you find, celebrate it. Because here's the thing, when you do that and you're in that space of joy and celebration for what you found, you're going to manifest more of it. That's the way it works. But if instead you go out there and you get all downtrodden about, oh my gosh, we're not finding anything, or we're just getting a few little flakes, then you've just now manifested a lack and not finding what you're seeking. So get out there, find whatever you can, and celebrate the heck out of it. And then be in that state of joy and anticipation for more. And also tune into your solar plexus. Look around, watch for those insights from your guides, those breadcrumbs that are going to draw you to the right opportunities, because they're out there. You know they are. It's just a matter of finding and connecting with them. So again, lift off that blanket of despair and darkness and doubt. Let that all go. Walk in the sunshine, because guess what? You can see the gold a lot better in the sunshine because it's going to glint off of it, right? So they're just encouraging you to get out and walk in the sunshine. And Michelle just says the messages are meaningful. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. So Karen liked the group message. Awesome. Okay, so let's go back up to the hands. Denise. I just lost you. There you are. Okay, you're unmuted. Go ahead. Hi. What's your question?
Hi. Well, my question, I have several, but the first one is a decision I recently made about the direction I'm choosing to follow with my spiritual evolution. Is this the optimal direction for me to go? And is it in alignment with my soul's purpose?
Okay. So for Denise, this new direction that she's exploring, is this in alignment with her purpose? I get a yes on that. So is there anything you want to share further about that with her? Oh, they're giving you a big applause, Denise, for taking action.
Okay.
Yeah, and for stepping out. So there's a whole bunch of them standing in a big semicircle, all applauding you. Wild applause now because they're reaching their hands out and really clapping loudly. So they want to enforce for you that, yeah, keep going, do more of that.
All right. And is there anything else that would enhance it or supercharge it?
Okay. So anything else you can share with Denise? She's looking for a little confidence booster, I think. I'm hearing a cork popping, like, celebration time. Yeah, now I'm seeing the champagne overflowing. So it's celebratory, Denise. It's like, yeah. You're on the right track. Do more of that. And all of these lovely, fun times are ahead of you. And just really enjoy the ride. Because I'm seeing, like, what is that? It's like presents are being piled up in your path. It's like you're playing this game and you've suddenly hit on all this big winning streak, and now all the manifestations are starting to come in. And there's going to be so many that you're going to be stumbling over them, which is what happens, of course, when you get into alignment and you take action and get moving, right?
And that's exactly what I've been feeling. It's like so much is coming, and I just want to make sure that I'm still in alignment with it, and I'm continuing on in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm feeling like, straight on, all systems go, just keep moving. But here's the thing, if you're worried about that, just be very present and look for those moments when you feel a little bit out of alignment and things are sticky and staticky and you're feeling resistance. And then just make a little quick correction, get right back on track. Because the thing is, as you raise your energetic vibration level, it's like you've gone from driving on this big, wide 4-lane highway to one little skinny dirt road. And so those are your confines now because you've raised your frequency to a higher level. And so you only have this much leeway to get out of alignment, where before you could have been all over the road on 4 lanes, right? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like raising your frequency is really wonderful, but it comes with the responsibility of staying in alignment, because as soon as you get out, you're going to notice it faster than you did when you were in a big 4-lane highway. And that's a good thing, right? Because you're going to notice it faster so you can fix it faster.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree. So does this have anything to do with when you did my reading, you said that I would be, I don't know if this is the correct terminology, but a second God spark would be opening for me. Is that part of it? Is that more of the coming more in alignment and being on that path?
Let's ask about that. So this new aligned path that Denise is on, is it connected to the secondary God spark? No, it's in addition to it. The secondary God spark hasn't come in yet. No, it hasn't come in yet. It's still coming. So this means there's still more advancement that's coming for you.
Okay.
So keep going.
And do I need to do anything specific with regards to that?
Okay, is there anything specifically she needs to do? Yeah, I'm seeing you on this trajectory where you're like, it's getting to be a steeper hill because you're really moving up. So just keep doing that. And as long as it feels good and you're happy with the results, you're on track.
Okay.
Because, the seeds have already been sown for that God spark. It's going to come in when all the confluence comes together, and it's just going to happen. You may or may not feel it, but it will just, I'm feeling it kind of like, bam, it comes into place and there's like a, whoo, like you fit the last brick into the foundation or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have one other question, not about me personally, but whenever you're doing readings or channelings, how how do you keep from filtering whatever's coming through your like fears or any of your negativity? How do you do that? Or do you can you?
I'm not aware of it. It's just when I connect to the Akashic Records, it's all love, light, and truth. So that precludes negativity. Now, here's the thing. When I'm doing it for somebody else, easy peasy, because it's just flowing and that's all intention. When I'm doing it for myself, it's a little more challenging because, you know, we have inside information about ourselves and we have our insecurities to deal with. So I can do it for myself, but it's a little harder. That's just more challenging. It's just like when you do animal communication. If you're trying to read your own animals, your logical mind will step in and try to give you the answers because you know the animals rather than allowing their voices to come through. Does that make sense?
So it sounds like what you're saying is just to trust what's coming through and allow it to just, whatever they're saying, and they're using you as a channel, and just allow that to happen.
Yeah, you just set your intention to be connected to, if it's for somebody else, their records, and you're in trust. Because sometimes some really wacky stuff comes through. And there are times when I have to sit back and say, can I really tell this person that? Because they're going to think I'm nuts. But you know what? It's just happened so often that it's been accurate and it resonated with that person. And when you get enough of that kind of validation, you stop doubting and you just say, okay, I don't care if it sounds nutty. I'm just going to be the messenger and I'm going to deliver what you gave me. And so that's when you're in this position, which I'm presuming you're going to be, you just faithfully deliver in all the detail that you can, because we never know what minute detail might be really important for that person.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Adelina says the vision about the world being infected with love is something she's heard since she was a child. That is really cool. Love spreading from person to person like wildfire, lighting up the world. Yeah. And so she feels like her intuition has been heightened and she's feeling called to use her spiritual gifts more for herself and the world. And yeah, it's exactly that, Adelina. We're being called right now. Just ripples and ripples, waves of energy calling us forth, because that's what it's going to take. You know, we need something really massive to make change right now. So do your guides have anything to share about your gifts and the ways that you can start to use them now? All right, so for Adelina, what can you tell her about stepping more fully into her gifts and being in alignment? Yeah, I'm seeing you climbing on a bicycle and you're just smoothly pedaling along and the pavement is beautiful. It's gorgeous pavement, it's brand new, and you're just flowing on it. And then up ahead of you, you can see there's a little pothole. But no problem, because you saw it and you can easily go around it and keep going. The pothole's not going to stop you, right? So they're saying, use your vision. And that's, you know, your inner vision, your psychic vision, as well as your third dimensional vision. And be scanning the horizon and looking for not only breadcrumbs, but potholes to avoid. And you'll be fine. Just keep going, right? And they're showing the bicycle because you're moving faster on the bicycle. It's easier than if you were walking, right? So it's helping you to move forward faster. That's what that's about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And someone else, when they were they could see me on a bicycle. So it's really fun that you're doing the same thing. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. That's just validation. You know, when you do this kind of work, you'll find that happens a lot, that people will say to you that, oh, I heard that same thing from somebody else. And that's very purposeful. The guides will do that to help you build trust and confidence in the message. So they're giving you that extra stamp of validation.
Great. Thank you.
Because I have no way of knowing that somebody else told you about a bicycle. That's just the visual they gave me. And that's how it works.
Sometimes I'm wondering, am I crazy? Is this real? And then I get these small things which make me, feel like I can't be crazy, because the coincidences are too big to be
Yes.
coincidence.
Believe in yourself and trust, because you are very connected. You've got a really keen sense of intuition and sight. Sight keeps coming up for me. So that's important for you. So just use it. Keep using it. It's going to get better and better. You're building and strengthening that muscle. But trust is huge. So just flow with it and don't question. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Epiphany, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Here, I'll put myself on video so you can actually physically see me.
Hi.
I'm so glad I made it tonight. I thought I wasn't going to, but I got off work early, and so here I am.
Hello.
And this is my partner, Eric. So he's very new to this, the whole dowsing and Akashic Records. And so I just said, you were doing this evening, and if he wanted to participate. So here he is. But I do have a question for 2020. It's actually something that I dowsed on earlier today. I got a little bit of a mixed answer. So I've had this trademark that I've been waiting on. It's been in limbo for like almost 2 years now. And so I dowsed to see if I'm finally gonna get it in 2020. And I tried to go a little bit further to find out like when in 2020. So I got an answer. I'm not 100% sure. So I wanted to see if you could maybe confirm it for me. So I got March 2020 that I'll finally get the trademark. So can you see if you can confirm that for me? I'd like to.
Yeah, I'll ask about that. Welcome, Eric. Thanks for coming. So Epiphany, the trademark she's been anticipating, is it highly likely she will get it in 2020? Highly likely. Is it definite? Not definite, but highly likely, and that's good enough energetically. So will it be the first quarter? Is it highly likely to be in the first quarter of 2020? I get a yes on that. So somebody asked me earlier about dowsing multiple questions. So I'm just going to show you the pendulum. So I'm just letting it swing, and I'm asking, okay, so is it going to be January? And that's a no. Is it going to be February? That's a no. Is it going to be March? And that's a yes. Okay. So what they were curious about is, do you stop it between questions? And I don't, but you can if you want. I just let it swing and it will change direction on its own. And again, I'm not controlling it. I'm just holding it very loosely on my finger so that it's doing whatever it wants.
Okay, cool. But that's good. That's good news.
Cool. But just to clarify for those who weren't in the dowsing class, the pendulum doesn't have any consciousness of its own. It's coming from our connection to the Akashic Records or our higher self, if that's where we've connected. So it's coming from that place of wisdom energetically through our body, and then it energizes the pendulum and causes it to give us the answer. So it's really coming from our higher self, higher wisdom, Akashic Records. Because we don't want to give the pendulum any extra powers. It really doesn't have them.
Oh, and you know what? I doused it on my keychain.
Awesome.
Yes, because I didn't have my pendulum. So that was another, it was kind of weird. It was because the keychain was really odd, but that's why I was I wanted to confirm it tonight. So I
love that. Yeah, just use whatever you've got. And if you don't have a pendulum, use your fingers. And
oh, that's right. I forgot about that part. Yeah. Okay. Did you?
Yeah, I did. I am in the midst of trying to figure out how to become an entrepreneur. And I've been doing a lot of research trying to find a business idea. And the question I wanted to ask is, will I find an idea that I can believe in and that I can pursue by March, as far as having a business that I can start?
Okay, that's a really vague question to douse on.
Okay.
So do you have several options you're considering?
It's very vague at the moment.
Do you have anything that identifies it, like industry or type of work? So if we can narrow it down and douse on those options, that's a better way to go.
I would honestly have to say I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, it's self-employed?
Correct.
Okay. So would it be technology? Would it be B2B? Would it be customer service? I mean, is there anything like that at all that you can narrow it down to?
It could be a combination of customer service or actual just having a small business. I guess.
So that gives a little more to hang on to. It's if you are too vague in your dowsing, you're not going to get the kind of answers you're looking for. You probably will just get a big confused, I don't know, kind of answer. So let's try with that one. So for Eric, he's considering a business, a small business that would revolve around customer service. Is this likely to be a successful business for him in 2020? No, not that one. What else you got?
Try, is it highly likely that he will own a business or become an entrepreneur in the next 5 years?
Okay. So is it highly likely that within 5 years, Eric will find the inspiration to start his own business? Yes, highly likely.
Okay, how about in the next 3 years?
Okay. Is it highly likely that Eric will get that inspiration to start a business within the next 3 years? No.
Okay, okay.
So within 4? Yeah, we can get closer with 4. So somewhere between 3 and 4.
Okay, so just some time to get those ideas and.
Yeah. Oh, and also what they're saying is you might try a few things and they don't work out, and just keep working the options. So if you try one and it doesn't work out, don't let that stop you, because that's part of the entrepreneurial journey. You've got to take the pieces, put them together and see what works.
Wonderful.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Glad you came. All right. Marie, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to also ask about what my spirit guides would have to say to me with respect to this wonderful 2020 supercharged year about to happen in a few minutes or a few hours.
Yeah. Okay, so what can you share with Marie about the exciting energy and opportunities of 2020? Yeah, I'm seeing those fireworks going off, a lot of them. So it's like big celebration and big energy. That's what that's about. Big, big energy. It's not little. Stop playing small. That's what they're saying, Marie. Stop playing small. Take the lid off the pot and let it boil over, because then it's going to boil over and it's going to connect with more people, and it's going to go out. And I see that liquid boiling over. It's almost like, lava that's flowing out. And because it's free flowing, it's going to like go from person to person and connect with those that are energetically aligned with what you're offering, and almost like beckon them into you, if that makes sense. So just go with it. Let it be bigger. Don't hold it down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very much so. That is a message I've gotten a lot in 2019. And I can see why it's still important for me to hear it.
Yeah.
And it's good to know too that with stopping being small, that I can, step into my largeness.
Yes, it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
And trust. But when you get into alignment and you connect with your guides, they'll be there. They'll be at each elbow supporting and helping and nudging you. And just go forth with trust.
Yeah.
And know that you have this bigger purpose, and you're only defeating yourself if you don't step forward into it, because what's going to happen is your energy is going to shrink and you're not going to step into the full potential of what is waiting there for you. And the crazy thing is, you've manifested this. This is what you've been working towards. So maybe visibility needs to be your word for 2020.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Deborah.
You're
Right
welcome.
on.
Okay. I'm going to pop over to YouTube for a minute and see what's going on question-wise there. So Wendy asks, can I get advice on how soon to get a job? So for Wendy, how soon is optimal for Wendy to get a job? And I'm not sure if you're asking if it's going to find you or if you're going to go find it, but let's just ask, what time frame is optimal for you to take a job? Would that be more than 6 months? That's less than 6 months. So more than 3 months. No on that. More than 1 month? Okay, so it's more than 1 month. So what, like 6 weeks? They're saying like 6 to 8 weeks, Wendy. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm just gonna type that in real quick. All right, and Michelle wants to know how to connect with her divine partner in this timeline. So for Michelle, what can you tell her about connecting with her divine partner? They're saying, Michelle, babe, stop limiting yourself. There's more than one. Get out there, sample the goods, and pick the one that you have the best energetic connection with. Don't sell yourself short, right? Only pick the very best. Consider it like you're going to a buffet and sample anything that looks appealing, and then pick the juiciest, most fun, exciting one, and then go have a ball. But when you do that, don't get into this, what is it? This clingy kind of energy where it's like, this is the one and I'm clamped on and that's it for the rest of my life. Because you know, some relationships are only for a season, not for a lifetime. So go into it with the attitude that you're going to experience and enjoy it for as long as it works for both of you. And when it stops working, if it stops working, it may not, but if it continues working, stay there and have a ball. And if it doesn't, be willing to walk away and don't deny yourself the opportunity to have another fabulous, exciting, juicy relationship. So let me know, Michelle, if that helps. Joel says, Happy New Year. Wishing a happy, prosperous year to all of us. And oh, thank you, Joel. He's blessing and wishing for more followers to show up. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Joel. Okay, so that's all the questions on Facebook or on Zoom. Oh my gosh, I'm confused, right? On YouTube, sorry, YouTube. That's all the questions right now on YouTube. So popping back over to Zoom. Okay, I see Karen, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Yes, I just feel like there's another message and I know that's so general and I apologize, but I feel like there's another message for me tonight. So if you could just ask about that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you feel there's more, honor that and ask for it, because that's why we're here. We've still got time.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
Karen, is there a further message you want to share with Karen? So I'm getting like thinking. So they're taking just a moment to process this. Oh, all of a sudden I see this bouquet of flowers just spring up. You know, like when a magician puts their hand out and bam, this bouquet just opens up in front of you. But this is a real bouquet. And daisies are very prevalent in this bouquet. There's other flowers, but for some reason I got a real strong imprint on daisies. So I don't know if daisies are meaningful to you or if it's the symbolism. So be sure and look up the symbolism of daisies. What I'm feeling is that daisies are, you know, about spring and new beginnings and vitality. So there's something there. about spring and new beginnings for you. So what else? Yeah, so I'm seeing a clown now offering you this bouquet of flowers, and you're hesitant to accept it. And you're like, oh, no, thank you. It's beautiful, but no, thank you. And so it feels like, Karen, for you, that is about feeling like you don't want to bother people and, passing things up. It's self-esteem at the core, right? So you are being encouraged. Set yourself this goal for the next 3 months. Yeah, for the next 3 months. Anytime somebody offers you a compliment or a gift or a favor, anything like that, smile, say thank you, and accept it. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Yeah. So they're saying, stop blocking your abundance, Karen. It's being offered to you and you're saying, no, thank you. So what are you telling the universe? I don't deserve it. I don't want it. It's the wrong time. Start accepting, and then more of those manifestations will come through. More abundance.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is that what you were looking for?
I just knew there was something, so that's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, anybody else? I can't believe it's almost 10 o'clock already. Oh my gosh, how did we do that? Wow. Okay, Epiphany, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally. No, come on. No, this is for Eric. He has another question. I don't want to ask it for him because I don't know if it can work like that. So we'll give him like just a second. If you want to take somebody else and oh, here he comes.
Okay, here I am. I apologize. I was cooking a beautifully amazing, wonderful dinner.
It's New Year's Eve.
Okay, I have, I believe, a money blockage mentally. I don't really know where it comes from, and I don't really know a question to ask in regards of how do I clear my blockage.
Okay, so this is another great dowsing exercise for all the people who are in that course. So for Eric, does he have a money block? Let's first ask that. Is there a money block? Yes, definitely. Is it present life? It's present life. Is it also past life? Yes. Okay. So when did this problem first begin? How many lifetimes ago? I'm getting 16 right off. I just hear 16.
Okay.
So 16 lives ago. And what gender was he? Was he male in that lifetime? You were male. And at what age did this occur? 27. So at 27, something happened to Eric that blocked his money. Was it something physical? No. Was it something emotional? Yes. Oh, I immediately get this picture. You were in business with this guy and he ran off with all of your money. He totally betrayed you. You had been friends and bam. So of course there would be a reluctance to step into another business, especially if you're considering taking on a partner. So this for you, Eric, is about being more conscious, watching for the signs, because that doesn't happen out of nowhere. There had to have been signs, but you were just in this relaxed, laid back state. And I'm just kind of seeing this picture as I'm talking and trusting him, not necessarily doing your due diligence as a partner. So that's about responsibility. So step up to that responsibility, own it. It's your business.
Got it.
Right? So once you let that go, that should fix that money block and give you more confidence about moving forward, because this has happened in multiple lifetimes. It's just now you're ready to resolve it. That's why it's showing up for you. That's the good news. When it shows up, it's like, yay, finally, let's get rid of this block.
Yeah, wonderful.
How does he get rid of it? Does he need to do a little ritual? Does he need to go in and imagine that situation and cut the cord?
You can do anything that feels good to you because it's your issue, right? You can simply do a little meditation and visualize and say, it is my intention to disconnect from this money block from today forward in all times. You know, you can make up anything you want. And if you're struggling with that, send me an email and I'll send you something.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's so helpful.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, Michelle, go ahead.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Hi. So my question is, I had a really special dream last night, and there was a mythical being in the dream. And I woke up and I felt like it was a special message. And I mean, I guess the takeaway is that I had just a very nice feeling from the dream, but I would like any guidance from my intellectual side, if you have any kind of clarity on what the special message was. And it was just so unusual and striking. So,
okay. So what can you tell Michelle about this magical dream she had last night? They're saying it was to infuse you with excitement and to get you to take action. It's like hitting the accelerator and saying, let's go, let's stop lollygagging around. Let's kick this thing into overdrive and get going. So they were inspiring you and cheering you on and just giving you fun. That's an example of the kind of fun they want you to allow more of and seek out in your life. Because again, you know how wonderful that energy felt when you were dreaming it. So what if you bring that manifest into your third dimensional reality and imagine what that will infuse each day with, and how that will lift your vibration and how it will bring more manifestations forth. So, yeah.
wow. Okay. So what kind of action? Because it was about fun, but it was a very mellow, peaceful, it was like almost like in a Zen garden kind of thing. And it was like Zen fun, which wasn't a lot of action. So what kind of action are they trying to inspire in me that I'm not already doing?
It's things that you're feeling drawn to, things that catch your attention, that you're interested in, that pique your interest. Go explore them. See if that's your next big thing that you want to go after. Realize that they were showing you the ideal. So if you were one of those monks who had spent 30 years meditating, yeah, it would take you very little action to get into that space. But most of us are not there. We're dealing with all this third dimensional stuff. So for us, it's kind of like we're trying to run in water and it's very slow, but we just have to keep working on continuing to move forward. Don't let that stop us. Keep looking for those breadcrumbs and keep following up with them. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm doing that, and I feel like I spin in circles sometimes. And is that okay? Is that part of the process?
Let's ask. Well, you did get that vortex. That's interesting that you said that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I follow lots of breadcrumbs, and I enjoy myself doing it, but I'm not always sure.
Yeah, so I'm seeing you in a car and you're driving around this traffic circle and you keep missing your exit, and so you just keep going round and round and round. So that's being a little off track, right? So that is calling you to be more present in the moment, be more precise, be more specific, slow down a little bit in that case so that you can make the turn when you get to it. Don't overshoot it and keep going round and round. So that would be a lot of activity, spinning your wheels, but not getting anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Just be more present. Look for the signals and the signs that will let you know when you need to take a new action, do something differently, move out of that space into another.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting, it's just a different way to have fun, because it's like calmer fun.
Well, going around in circles at a really high rate of speed can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it doesn't get you where you want to go.
Well, but no, here's the thing though. As long as it feels fun, you can do it. When it gets boring, then you do something else.
Yeah.
Because I love to go down, those ramps in airports where you go round and round and round.
Right.
And I love to do that when my kids were little. I would go as fast as I could safely on those things, and they giggled and we just had so much fun. And it was just silly.
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
felt good.
Okay. Thank you. That
Yeah.
was
So
really
I think
nice.
what's behind that is that there's more than one way to skin a cat, Michelle.
Yeah.
And you always pick the one that's the most delightful and fun.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for your generosity. This is such a great way to spend New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. It's fun for me too. Awesome. Okay. I don't see any other hands up. Let's see if there's any messages. No more messages. Let's check on YouTube. Michelle said, thank you. You're so welcome, Michelle. Okay. That was Michelle on YouTube as opposed to Michelle on Zoom, just to be specific. All right. Well, we just got a few minutes left. Oh, why don't we just wind it down with a little gratitude? So just take a couple deep breaths and just focus on your heart chakra and the joy that is out there waiting for you. Just allow that heart chakra to expand like a flower that's opening into full bloom, full and glorious and beautiful and so fragrant. That's who you are as this beautiful awakened soul. And you get more so every day. So let go of the worries, let go of the stress, just flow, enjoy, allow the world to come and give thanks to you for who and what you bring to the table. And in turn, you stand in gratitude to divine for creating you as this amazing, miraculous, sacred being who is so amazing and so unique and beautiful. Just allow all of that to soak into your understanding of who you are. Really embody that. Know that you are not broken, you are perfect. Divine would say to you, my dear precious child, you are so beautiful. You're so magnificent. I love you so much. And then feel the arms of divine enveloping you in the most glorious love, energy filled embrace. Oh, just soak that in. That feels so marvelous. There is just nothing like that. And take that with you as you move into the 2020 energy and allow it to beam off of you love beams for the world. Let it vibrate from your being. And as we all do that, as we vibrate together and allow that divine love to vibrate off of us to others, like a drum beat, we can feel that energy moving out and encompassing more and more of the world. And miracles really do happen and they will happen. It's going to be glorious. So take a deep breath and a final thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. We are so grateful. It was a beautiful gathering. Blessed and delighted to have been here with all of you. So I will send you off to finish your New Year's celebration. Have a great time and bring that fun attitude with you into tomorrow and all your tomorrows. Mwah. Good night, everybody. Thank you.